Howdy, I hope you all are doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I'm here with my lovely wife, Dr. Alicia. How you doing today, babe?
I'm doing okay, but I prefer pillow talks when we're actually like in the bed on our pillows.
Yeah, I know. That's when we usually do it, and today we decided to do something a little bit different. We're actually gonna go just jump on camera and handle this. And so, in case you don't know, Pillow Talk is where my wife and I get together, and our goal is to help us have elevated conversations about things happening in our community. I'm a finance professor. My wife is a professor of social work and a licensed therapist. And so today's topic actually has to do with the one and only Will Smith. Now, Will Smith is a guy who is doing quite well right now. I would say he's a bona fide movie star. He is out here just kicking butt, taking names. His new movie, Bad Boys 4, was just a massive, mega financial hit. I mean, just absolutely killed it. And I thought Will would just be a fun topic because there was a video you had sent to me where Will was talking about money, and you and I are both big on money, and we created the first ever Black financial therapy department in the Black Business School, and he really seemed to have a really interesting relationship with money that I thought was worth exploring. Now, before I begin the discussion, I want to ask everybody in the chat, can you give me a quick yes if you can hear me? Let me know if the audio is coming through okay. Give me a yes if you can hear me okay, if I'm coming through good and sounding good and it's all making sense to you, because I want to make sure that we are hearing each other. And also, so babe, what I want to do is kind of just hop in and first off, just kind of ask you in terms of an overview, how do you feel about Will's success? I ain't gonna lie, I was really happy for him, to see his movie do so well, particularly everything he's kind of been dealing with. What are your thoughts?
Oh my God. I've always been a Will Smith fan, even though his personal life and I think his issues with the Oscars, the big slap at the Oscars, had a lot of controversy. I've always stood by his side. I'm one of those black women that be standing beside the black man no matter what. So I was one of those. I'm always rooting for him. And I think it's just because he's so likable. There's something
Mm.
about him that's just likable, even though he got upset and defended his wife, and we now understand some of the issues that those two were having in their marriage. It all makes sense to us, and no matter what happens, it's like he just comes out on top. And so, I'm very thrilled that this new movie has actually been received very positively by the audiences. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy too. Like I feel like Will is a guy that's just gone through so much, and I mean it's really amazing given just the beating his reputation kind of took from so many people, and what's really interesting is that when you go back and you kind of look at what happened since the slap, it's almost like the like Hollywood, when you do something that's kind of out of line, they kind of expect to be able to punish you, blackball you, eliminate you, and it's almost like he's not cancelable. Like it's almost like no matter how much anybody might have tried to take this guy off the map, at least at this stage in his career, they just can't do it. I don't know. I mean, he because if you saw how he promoted this movie, he was super charismatic. He was really energetic. I follow Will on Instagram. I love the way he was using his big Instagram platform to really really engage the audience in ways that I thought was just really powerful. And as a result, this movie made over $100 million in the first weekend. And I don't think this movie would have done so well had it not been for him doing his thing the way he does it. And really, only he does it this way. What do you think?
Yeah, he exudes this energy that's infectious. It's like he remember he did the cameo at his own premiere. He dressed up and sat in the audience. I think
Mm.
that's what he talked about doing. He sat in his audience and then he came out and recorded people's reaction to his presence in the movie theater of the opening of his film, and then he put that on social media. So if you look at his Instagram page and everything he puts out, it's so positive. And if anything, that's the wonderful way. First of all, it's a wonderful way to deal with mental health issues. Is to remain positive. That's a great way to protect your mental well-being. Is that, and then we see it in him. It's the contagiousness of his, his energy. It lets us bounce back from some of the ups and downs in his past. And if anything, having marital issues, that's relatable. If anything, people can relate to that. And I don't know, you talk about the power of positivity and having the positive mindset. That's something that I think Will Smith must study. He must study, because he's definitely is working. It is definitely working. And his loyalty. Wasn't it great to see how loyal he was to Martin Lawrence? It was just like, no matter what, those interviews that he would have with Martin Lawrence. And I think Martin Lawrence was kind of struggling a little bit, but he jumped in and really made his co-star look better. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I felt like anybody, even Stevie Wonder could see that Martin Lawrence was struggling, that there was something going
Yeah.
on, and I don't know what it is. I mean, there was talk about strokes and all this stuff. And in fact, I was so concerned. I really am convinced that there's going to be a Bad Boys 5. It may be in another 10 or 15 years, and what's going to happen is definitely the Martin Lawrence character is going to be played by AI. That's what they're doing right now in Hollywood. They are literally taking actors and scanning their faces and their bodies so they can use them in perpetuity. And so my prediction is that you're going to see a wave of movies involving people that have been gone for a long time. Like you might have a movie with Michael Jackson, Elvis, Frank Sinatra, and Tom Cruise, 30, 40, 50 years from now. That's, well, we won't, a lot of us won't be around then. But still, though, I think that's the prediction. I don't think Martin has another big movie in him, but you're right. Will kind of held it down and just carried that on, took it on his back.
Yeah, and it made us love him even more. Like, there's something like really authentic about Will Smith when you see his interviews and you see him on screen. And I think that authenticity for the audience, it makes us like him more, and it also makes us trust him, because a good key indicator of trustworthiness is when someone comes across as authentic, like a sense that he's being himself. And I don't know, I just think that that's just, it's just great to see that the Will Smith is still here. The one we love, the version of him that we love in movies is still around. And I think that's wonderful. Don't you think so, boys? Where are you?